is going on, guys, gals, aliens, and degen freaks? Welcome back to Dano Crypto. On this channel, I show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Man, it feels good to say that again. Welcome, everyone. We were on vacation for a week. Holy crap, we hadn't had a vacation in a little while, and we actually went out of the country for the first time ever. We went to Prague, and if you guys have ever been to Prague, it is an amazing city, such rich culture, European history, just a mesh of these different cultures together, and it was such a great experience. And I want to say, guys, being on vacation, seeing how the market dumped while I was on vacation, I had absolutely no fear. I had no uncertainty, and I had no doubt that we were going to indeed recover off of that low point that Bitcoin went down to $48,000. Now, I'm sure that you guys were trying your best to catch that dip. So I'm curious, let me know in the chat, guys, if you were able to actually catch the dip on the cryptocurrency markets and what coins you were able to pick up and scoop up on the dip. But guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really do appreciate you guys. And make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, all those things, and dinging the bell to be notified so that you know when I'm going live, because we are getting back to the grind, guys. We're getting back. We're back, and we're going to be streaming Monday through Friday again, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like the regular scheduled programming. So, got some BTC. Lake the Great said, I got some BTC and some stinky old chain link. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so everything pretty much took a massive dive. If you guys were actually watching the Moon Show, I was on the Moon Show 2 different times, on Monday, my normal scheduled day, and also on, I believe it was Wednesday as well. And what was interesting on Wednesday is I called it, guys. I said, look, we're going to end up bouncing and hitting and filling that gap. And I want to show you guys the gap that we indeed filled. And the gap was in between 62,000 and 58,000. As you can see, we did a nice fill of the gap, and now we're getting a little bit of that resistance, and we hit that 20 SMA on the Bollinger Band. And if you're familiar with the Bollinger Band, I'll tell you guys that, you know, the top of the band is representing where the candles and the price on the average move is hitting, and the bottom represents the lower wicks on the price channels. And then the middle line is the moving average, the 20-day moving average that lines up with in the middle of those two bands. And so what you can do is use this strategy to figure out if the coin, whatever you're doing this Bollinger Band indicator on, for instance, Bitcoin, is showing a little bit more strength when it starts to trade above the 20 SMA, or the 20-day moving average. And so, yo, what's going on? We got Mr. M. Let's go. Yes, we got Mr. M in the chat. Awesome. Yeah, we got the family. We got the family house, and everyone send prayers. I want all the prayers and all the energy and everything to go to Mr. M right now. Everyone just say, hey, Mr. M, I want you to have good energy, and just send him some good energy. So welcome, guys. Welcome. So yeah, so we indeed filled the gap. We called it on the Moon Show. We said, look, it makes sense that we would fill the gap, and it lines up with the thesis, but it doesn't still take off the table of a bearish case scenario just for the short term. So for the short term, we have we could just go sideways. You know, sometimes it's not going to be these dramatic big moves like we had with the stock market crashes, you know, because you got to think, you know, as much as we don't want the stock markets around the world to be correlated with the cryptocurrency markets, it does when we have massive sell-offs and just you know, there's a lot of figures that I started to pick up on. Is that Jack Mahler made a good point in a podcast that he was just in recently, and he's saying it is the biggest bear market in bonds. So what's so interesting is that, like, with that correlated with the crashing of multiple stock markets, we're having this thing happen again where they're just going to print more money to buy up the it's cheap debt. It's debt and illiquid, no valued cash that's going to be dumped into the market, interest rates will get cut, and then this is the way they're going to keep kicking the can down the road to fix the problem, but there's no way they're going to be able to fix it. That's like, you cannot bring that particular thing back. Like, it's almost like trying to drag someone back up a waterfall. It's not going to work. Like, basically here's the stream, and it's just like you're adding more water, and it just keeps going. The dam breaks, and then it just goes and it eventually goes down. And so this is what's happening with the dollar, and you can see this correlated with the Dixie, the DXY. So the dollar strength index is showing a downtrend. You see this downtrend, and if you put it on the weekly and also on the monthly, I think the monthly would be a best indication for you guys to look at what's happening with the dollar. So the dollar, if we hit in this level, which I believe we will, we're downtrending down to this level again. It's inversely correlated with Bitcoin. So when this level at the Dixie hits 98, oh my gosh, it's off to the freaking races, guys, with Bitcoin, because then that's when we're going to see this cup and handle pattern actually play out, where you got the bullish steam. I've told you about the steam. I don't know if you guys have been on this channel before. If you're new, I don't know if you've ever heard of Steam TA, but when you have a bullish cup and handle of steamy hot coffee bullish Bitcoin juice, then you get $120,000 Bitcoin in the end of the year, okay? Because this is where we're going to see this metric play out. We have exchanges expected to run out of Bitcoin in 9 months after the halving. And this is by BYBIT. You got to remember, BYBIT is the biggest exchange in the world. It's one of the top exchanges, right against Binance, right against Coinbase. And so this is not just BYBIT initiating this report. They're doing research all together. Trust me. Like, these guys are in competition together, but they also do round tables, and they pull metrics together because they are expecting a supply shock on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there are charts that will show you this. If you go to CoinGlass, you could probably look at the exchange inflows and outflows of Bitcoin and Ethereum being sent into cold storage. And so what that means, if you're not familiar with this, when you have cold storage, it means that you're holding it on something. It's your physical wallet with your keys. And then if it's hot, it means you got it on the exchanges, you got it, all the places where it's hot. It's moving, it's hot. So this is a very interesting metric and time frame of where you can look, of where you would think be a smart place to start taking profits. Because the whole thing in crypto and in investments in general is that, like, what's your time frame trajectory for when you want to hold these assets and when you think would be a good time to DCA out and also keep DCAing in. And you look at companies like MicroStrategy and the CEO, Michael Saylor, when he implemented that Bitcoin strategy and started to DCA and understood that the supply and demand mechanisms kick in hard after the halving in 8 to 9 months to a year after the halving. Once he actually studied it, then that is when all gates were open, and not only did the price of Bitcoin surge, but his own company that was being shorted to the ground. If you watched my video with Da Vinci, I'll pull it up really quick. Or you guys just go to the video that I made with Da Vinci. Da Vinci explained the whole reason why Michael Saylor started to study Bitcoin was to save his company from being shorted. He was a profitable company. MicroStrategy was a profitable company, and in that they were still trying to manipulate and short the company to eventually make it go out of business and eventually have to dissolve. Because then also you're inflating at a quarter to a third of your profits with inflation and also in stocks. So what ended up happening was he realized this. So what he did is he took out against his company a zero interest loan collateralized loan on his company to buy Bitcoin. And so in that was the test. It was like almost like he researched it enough and then applied the strategy. And then I'll show you a very interesting chart. If you just go to MicroStrategy and you look at the chart, you go MSTR is the ticker. And if you go on the monthly, gonna go on the weekly here. I don't know where is this it? I think this is it. Oh, yes. No, this looks completely different. This chart looks so weird. Hold on. That is not the same chart because the point that I'm trying to make, if this is real, MicroStrategy 131. What was that, 1,000? What is this? This is wrong. That's so weird. Am I like losing my mind? Am I losing my mind right now? MicroStrategy. NASDAQ stock. Is this a glitch or something? What is this? Why does this say 131? Am I having a meltdown? Here, hold on just a second, guys, because I don't know what's happening with TradingView right now, because MicroStrategy stock is definitely not $131 unless something like serious just happened. Hold on just a second. I think the matrix just glitched. Hold on. MicroStrategy stock price. That is so strange. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What just happened? 131. That was a massive, massive drop. Holy crap. Whoa, okay. That's okay. So I'm not going crazy. Okay, I'm not going crazy. I thought I was going crazy for a second. No, that's real. Holy crap. I didn't check the MicroStrategy stock price this whole entire market crash. So that's why I just had a moment. I was like, wait a second. What just happened? Holy moly. All right. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. Man, those market crashes. So now you can imagine I didn't have any stock in MicroStrategy. But imagine having stock in the stock market when all this happens and try not freaking out. This is why people panic sell. Holy moly. Holy moly. But let's get back to the point. All right, so the point that I'm making, which is hard now because I don't have my metric. Here we go. Here's the metric. The stock price bumped all the way up to $1,000 and went up 800% whenever he implemented that strategy, and it was right here. August 2020, and then you bring that up right here about, let's see, right after that was about halving 3, and then you go in, and you look and see that we had a 423% increase on Bitcoin after that third halving. And so this is why I'm trying to connect the dots for you guys and also myself, because I really don't think we're bullish enough on Bitcoin. The more that I'm in crypto, the more that I go to these conferences, and I've already been orange pilled, but now I'm like drinking the Kool-Aid, I guess, as you could say, but it's really tasty because it's cracking my head open into what is actual real value in this life, in this world, and also how to protect it. And you have to implement the right strategies, and you have to know when to pivot. You have to know when you're being siphoned, and you have to make a decision. And if you don't, it becomes harder and harder to get out of the hole. That's the whole point of the system to begin with, is that it digs you in the hole, and it's really, really hard to get out. But when there is a way out and you see that other people are implementing this in their strategy and in their companies, and big money is using this as an opportunity to save their company, and it worked, then that's a proof positive test, a scientific method. If you want to break it down as a scientific method, like using the scientific method and saying, okay, like here's the test strategy, and now it's been proven, it's been stress tested, so then now you can actually put it to scale, which is by protecting yourself against debasing of whatever currency, your fiat currency that you hold, and protecting you from inflation, and ultimately protecting you from the possibility of the government shutting off your funds because they want to have their own type of digital currency that's connected with the Federal Reserve, the IMF, the World Bank, and they can say, hey, you've used too much carbon this month, and so we're going to tax you, and you can't do anything about it. So you have to be very, very careful with what you choose to support in the next coming years, and maybe for the rest of your life. All right, guys. Welcome to the show. I'm super excited. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad you guys are with me. Make sure you guys go into the Discord. Make sure you guys are checking out all the links in the description. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you're following me at DanoCrypto904. And if you want to get some quick updates, I've been posting, charts, and I'll always repost anything that I see of people who I'm following that I appreciate their content and what they're doing. Benjamin Cohen was doing a correlation of when we have a death cross of the 50-day moving average, and also where we have these two moving averages having a cross. And so we've had a little bit of rejection on these crosses, and then sometimes we could actually push to the upside. So if you want to check that out. And there was something else. I wanted to show, it will be the money. It will be the money. I want you guys to say this every day when you wake up. Say your prayers, but then say, Bitcoin will be the money. And I think that'll help you. And I keep saying this to my wife. I keep saying it so she keeps understanding that this is the direction that the world is going, is that it will be the money. There's no other best case scenario of money to have in this world now once you understand what fiat currency does to a country and what it does to a government, what it does to a government that issues this fiat currency and lets it get out of hand, which it indeed has. So, yeah. Shout out to Lake, shout out to Rob. Hold on.
Go Rob, go Rob, go Rob, go Rob, go Rob. Bitcoin will be pumped. Bitcoin will be pumped. Bitcoin will be pumped. Let's go. Bitcoin will be pumped.
That was at Nashville. Shout out to Rob. I had so much fun at Nashville. That was my second crypto conference ever and second Bitcoin conference, and it was great. Got to run into a lot of people finally in person, and it was really cool to connect with all these our little bubble in crypto. You know, we're honestly kind of a pretty small bubble. When I realized that I was in this group of all these people that I see all the time, and that we're all hanging out in the same place, you know, and I do believe that we can all really help each other, and we all learn from each other. We pull different things from our skill sets, and so it's really cool to be in this cryptocurrency community, and you know, it's pretty cool. I'm very grateful. Now doing this live stream and coming back, you know, sometimes you think about the things that you're like, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to go down this path? Do I want to have this as a career? Am I happy doing this? And you know, being on vacation and it was so much so good for the soul and for my family to be able to do this. And I also did the sauna a lot when I was there, and I feel like that just helped me clear my mind. And when I started to think about the things that I value the most, and it's my family, it's my time with my family, and it's my freedom. Like, I really value the freedoms that I have, so I really want to protect those. And I think Bitcoin, why I fell in love with it, is because it can do that for you. Yeah. Makes me get emotional. Woo! Holy crap, guys. It's been a wild week, I'll tell you that. It's been a wild freaking week. All right. So, what's so interesting is that if you had been watching this channel for the past couple weeks, couple months, we have mentioned this level on the Bitstamp chart for a long time. And we correlated it with this move that we were thinking, if there was any obvious magnetic price that Bitcoin would go to, would be to this purple box here, because this was the last point of the bull flag that broke out for its all-time high. Been trading sideways in this range, and so it seems like an obvious bounce point. So if you were thinking, no, hey, are we going to go lower? Well, if you look at this trend line, said, if we hit this trend line, which we, it's so crazy. I should listen to myself more. Look at this. Look at that wick. It's exactly on the trend line. It bounced literally off the trend line, drawn from 16,000 all the way down here. Okay? All I did was take from the lowest low right here and just draw it all the way up. And this is why we are going to see an insane run coming up here soon. You just have to follow the trend. You just have to follow the trend. All right. So are you guys interested in altcoins? Are you interested in meme coins? Of course you are. So let's start going down the pipe. We're going to go down some of the list of what I think are the strongest meme coins right now to follow into the quarter 2025. This is probably where you're going to want to start thinking about DCAing out of the market. It's not financial advice. It's just an observation of market trend. And so I'm going to tell you guys what I am already invested in and what I would like to accumulate more of for this coming bull run. And one of them for Solana is Ponky. Ponky, just because of the chart alone, the chart looked really bullish. Exchanges really like Ponky. They're very friendly with it, especially the ones I like. Crypto.com. Shout out to Crypto.com. Link in the description. They have a really good relationship with Ponky. And also, it's just been really good in social interaction. They're very quick. Anytime anything happens, they got a meme for it right off the bat. The team doesn't sleep. So this is why I think Ponky is going to be over $1 billion, exactly just like Brett just did. And what's interesting about Ponky is because it has it's a similar art of Matt Fury. It's a monkey. It's an angry monkey that's always losing on trades, but then finally wins. It's kind of like this. It's a classic meme narrative for crypto. And so for Solana, I think that's my top pick. And then I'm bullish on Solana as well, of it going to, I think conservative case would be $800 for 2025 quarter one. And best case scenario would obviously be $1,000. That's that psychological number for Solana that hey, Solana could be going to $1,000, especially because I believe, if I can remember off the top of the dome, that the Brazilian government actually just approved a issuing and process of going into a Solana ETF. So don't quote me on that, but just go ahead and search that. And this is going to lead you into the bunny trail of what could be a altcoin ETF issuance for Solana. So it's going to be interesting. All right. So I love Dogecoin. Dogecoin, I mentioned on my Twitter that Dogecoin, let me find it really quick. That was on STG, Sol. This was on Ethereum, the CME gap. Okay, Doge. Okay, here's Doge. Okay, so I said Doge might be the best buy right now in terms of meme coins and alts because it's a Doge. Doge is more than just a meme. You know, it's a revolution of an ironic joke becoming something more than it was ever conceived by the creator. And that's when you know something needed to be created, even if the person that created it itself didn't have the vision and the momentum and the idea that it could become a cultural icon for cryptocurrency. So you have to think that something like this, the reason why it still exists and why it's in the top 10 is because of the Elon factor. You have the Twitter factor, you have the X payments factor. It's sitting at right under 10 cents, and it's at previous bull market support. Like if you look in this area, it's basically sitting at support of the run in 2021. So Dogecoin, I'm super, super bullish on. And so going down the list, just like Chainlink, Big Daddy, Super Balls Rothschild said he got some stinky leaky. And but what's actually really interesting is that we had a bullish announcement with a partnership with Chainlink, and it was with Metis. So if you're bullish on Metis, Metis is a layer 2 for Ethereum, and we'll pull up the chart real quick. Metis is actually, I think, indeed an over $300 price per coin altcoin. And if I can just find it really quick on the chart here. Yeah, Metis is sitting at $32. And I want to show you guys this chart, how bullish this chart is, okay? So when it launched, it had a decent launch. I mean, you look at this, great consolidation for a pump of a coin, and then hitting right down and trading right back into support, and then blasting off into another all-time high of $320. And then this was bear market too. Look, 2022, all this crap right here, all this, the price consolidation, and then look, this was all still good trading support, and then this was just the nature of the market. But then you see this, and look at how quick it traded right back up into that support area. So this is why I think Metis, in terms of what it's doing for interoperability, for keeping the Ethereum chain alive and going and breathing and all of that stuff with dApps. And actually, if you guys go into the Metis ecosystem, I've actually made content on it. And it's one of the easiest ecosystems to get into. And there's a lot of opportunities for it in terms of NFTs, in terms of DeFi, in terms of decentralized exchanges, swaps, all of that stuff inside Metis. So, and I've tested it out and it works. I've tested out a decentralized leverage platform, Tethys, and there's a lot of stuff and really cool things going with Metis. And so, yeah, you guys want to definitely check that out. And then, of course, XYO. You guys know I've blabbed about XYO before. DPEN, it's on multiple chains now. It's on Optimism, Polygon, Ethereum, and what else? I think that's it. And they also have their own operating system, which is the XYO.OS. And this thing is pretty cool because you can build dApps inside of it and track your nodes inside of this operating system, and it operates almost like a key, so you can have it as your own keyed decentralized operating system node tracker and also a dApplication board. So it's pretty cool. And going down the list, super bullish on crypto gaming still. Nakamoto Games and Medieval Empires are my two picks that I kind of want to just focus on and DCA into. Medieval Empires has a great track record already and is a very playable game. And I think once people start to understand about the ecosystem and crypto gaming starts to really pump, this thing is going to do very well. Especially it's up 9% right now. on the daily and the weekly. So in Nakamoto Games, it's a dashboard, has all different types of games that you can play inside of it, works like an arcade, and this is operatable in every single type of scenario inside of Telegram, inside of the web, and also does true transaction through Polygon blockchain. And since it's on Polygon, makes it very easy to do the transactions with minimal fees, which is the whole point. You don't want to have too many high fees. And then going down the Matt Fuhrer narrative, you have Pepe, you have Brett, you have the Chinese Pepe, and this is just the narrative, I think, that was the obvious pick and choice for onboarding people into crypto and having a mascot to follow. It's basically, this is how crypto is starting to work now. And the trend on Twitter and also in exchanges, realizing that you have to have a character and something to attach it to, because tech isn't enough. Like, it's the classic joke in crypto is like, oh yeah, I care about the tech, but really you're like, no. It's like the meme culture has always been what drives interest, humor, a relatability in humor and jokes, and also being able to catch something when something happens, and then be able to turn it into something that can help you understand it a little bit more by laughing, and also by being like, oh, like, okay, I get it. And so this is how crypto works, is that you gotta get onboarded with these memes to then go, oh, I get it. I take the profits out of the meme so then I can get into crypto in Bitcoin. And then being a part of holding these coins, all of these things build incentive of where you have private events. You got, say Pepe all of a sudden says, hey, Pepe holders, verify your address, and you can come to this party where you can network with other millionaires and billionaires or other people and artists of interest, and where you can build a community to keep building this cryptocurrency market in whatever country you're in, and make it sustainable, and also make it to where it can survive. So this is, it's getting pretty meta here, guys. I know I'm getting kind of deep in meta, but this is how you have to think. You have to think meta, like metaphysical, where everything is truly connected, and one thing leads to the other. But it's just, it's so interesting how the cryptocurrency as a whole and the idea of it resonates so much with autonomy, with freedom, with sovereignty, with being able to have protection of your family, your property, being able to own property, not having a overreaching governmental subversion, submission tactic, and fear tactic on your life if you, quote, make a mistake or break the rules in terms of financial crimes, and being able to just have your own things. This is the whole idea of crypto at its core. So all right, so I think all in this, I've given you guys TA, I've given you some philosophical things to think about, some altcoins to kind of keep your eye on the radar, and some Bitcoin TA. And I guess I'll show you guys my trade. So I did get into a Bitcoin long close to the bottom, close to this entry, 53,000 around there, entry price 53.2. And so we scalped off some profits. We scalped off about $100, close to $100 a Bitcoin, and this is a coin in perpetual. So this is priced in Bitcoin. So in that, you're going to be able to get a little bit more sats. But I will say it is still risky though, because when you're using your own Bitcoin, you better make sure you're not high leverage, because then that Bitcoin gets liquidated. You're giving your Bitcoin away to the market. And I know trust me, I know I'm not the only one that's happened to, and I know it's happened to you guys, but then that's where you have to say, okay, what can I learn? Did I not set a stop loss? Was the market a little bit, did I not let the market just kind of come to me? And so this is an opportunity where you can say, okay, I can let the market come to me because this is an obvious dump, big dump right here, and then gaining up such a high wick and strength. You're bound, if you get any trade in this area and you're not too high leverage, you're going to make some profits. So that is where an opportunity or an example where you let the market come to you. So, but yeah, not too bad on this one. We're probably going to try and let this one ride as much as we can, especially since we're forming a descending wedge here. We're actually forming a descending wedge on Bitcoin right now. And we're actually forming this nice bull flag pattern where it matches up with the Bollinger Bands of getting some, and especially since it's a nice regression trend from a top of 62.9, and we could see a nice recovery. If we cross the 20-day moving average, we will push up to $64,000, which is the level that we have marked at the top where we just broke down from. If we show strength, then we will be up pretty nicely. I feel like I've been talking a million miles per minute. I think I got really stoked to come back to my setup. Sometimes it's really frustrating to try and stream or do content or anything like that, like on the go, and especially you don't have a good setup for it. You can do it on your phone, but it's sometimes kind of miserable, and then you get back into your studio, your setup, everything dialed in, you feel good. So thank you guys for tuning in and coming back to the live stream. I really do appreciate you guys. And we still have some content to go. This is going to be a pretty nice in-depth live stream. We have a lot of videos. We have some tweets. We have some things that we still want to go through. We have a video of Donald Trump talking to Robert Kiyosaki 15 years ago, talking about financial education and fundamental rules for investors. So we're going to watch that, 6 minutes long. And then we have a clip from Yahoo Finance today breaking down what is kind of happening in the markets as of late. So we're going to go through that. So I really do appreciate you guys being here. And if you want to directly support the channel, use all the links in the description. And we're still running a campaign for BITFLEX, and that's to win a Treasure Safe 3. So make sure you guys are trading on this volatility, whether you want to go up, down, short, long, you can do whatever. You can still make money, and as long as you know how to use proper risk management. And also, if you want to use the best risk management, is that you hold your crypto with your own keys on a cold storage wallet. And so we're going to be filling this thing with as much Bitcoin as we can, and keeping it nice and tight locked. So if you want to do the same, trade on my referral link. And also, if you want to donate to the cause, you can scan that QR code that is right there. That is my Bitcoin address, and you can gracefully, so kindly donate to the Dano Dojo. It keeps the dojo running. All right, so I don't know if you guys knew that Kendu Inu released a Kendu Chads. They're gonna have, it's a trading platform for NFTs, and with their own Kendu Chad NFTs. And so I think so far we've had 5,000 Kendu Chads minted. And if you're not familiar with Kendu Inu, this is my other pick as the ultimate Inu of community of what the Kendu, or just what the Shiba Inu relic gives into the market, because everyone's like, okay, what's going to be the Doge killer? What's going to be the next SHIB? What's the next SHIB? And there's all these different coins that come out claiming they're going to be the next dog coin, the next blah, blah, blah. And what's so interesting is that I have not seen a single, had not seen a single person talking about Kendu Inu before I was. And they also came into my live stream and just gave me the spill right off the bat and said, hey, you want to check this out? And I'm glad I did, because it shows how a grassroots built community can actually, without a big KOL support and all that stuff, and getting people to talk about it, like Slum Doge and all these accounts that have, a lot of followers, and people obviously when they trust when they post about something, but you got to remember, like, these people are getting paid to post these things. They're like, what should I invest my 100K, 200K in? And it's like, bro, you're 100% could be getting paid to talk about this coin, and you're not disclosing it. So, and I'm not saying that's just specifically like Slum Doge, but I'm just saying, that's just kind of the nature of the game. But I know people got to make money, but you can also be a little bit more forthright and transparent, especially if you have a lot of followers. And that's the gripe that I think a lot of people in crypto have about certain ethics in how you should represent something. And I'll tell you one thing: I have not gotten paid a single dime, not a single dime of any coin of what I've talked about. I have not gotten paid a single dime. I just like these coins, so I talk about them. If you want to pay me, hell yeah. But I'm going to tell you guys that I'm getting paid by them because I feel like I feel like that's the right thing to do. So I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that's how I feel. I think that's the right thing to do. I think, if you say, hey, it's a paid partnership, this video is sponsored by blah, 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 blah. So then it's just more out in the open. I think it's good business practice, and I think it would be good for a lot of the influencers to start doing that, stop being freaking chumps. But yeah, I'm not going to be afraid if a coin project, and I would love to represent these projects because, dang, they're already getting free advertisement. They're already getting free advertisement, getting all this shit for free. Maybe I'm a sucker. Am I a sucker, guys? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm just a sucker. Let's see how many people are watching. Am I just talking to myself? I might just be talking to myself. Oh no, okay, I'm not talking to myself. I think a lot of other people are streaming right now, so it's kind of like a hierarchy of who's going to be in whose stream right now. 6? Okay, cool. I want to know what 6 is, so then I 14, yeah. Let's see who's streaming right now. Let's see who's streaming. And then we're going to go through these videos, and then we'll end the stream. Let's see. Anyone streaming? Oh, the moon is streaming right now. Oh, my gosh. The moon is shit. Russell Brand is live streaming right now. Andy Bitcoin Senses is streaming. BitLab Academy is streaming. Crypto Banter Plus is streaming. Charles Hoskinson is streaming. Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry, I don't want to take the Lord's name in vain. But wow. Oh, and speaking of Jesus, when I was in Prague, I visited some of the prettiest, most gorgeous Catholic churches I've ever seen in my life. Like, mind-blowing. The Prague Castle was just astounding. The grounds, the gardens, the history. This thing was the longest project of a castle build, where it started in 11. It started in like the 1200s, and it didn't finish until 1910. They finally laid the last whatever stone in 1910. That's crazy, but it was so beautiful, guys. It was so beautiful, and it was cool. I went to a mass service, and a Catholic mass service, like a very traditional Catholic mass service with the incense and everything, and it was nice. It was all in check, but still, because I've worked at a church, I was very familiar with all with the how everything ran and how the flow of service goes, and what comes after next, and the whole up. So, because it runs through a certain type of Eucharistic prayer sets and things like that. So it was really cool, and the ceilings were all painted, everything, just gorgeous paintings everywhere. It was amazing. I highly recommend you guys, if you've never been to a Gothic style, Roman Anglican, like Catholic Church or something like that, you know, just like really old, I suggest you do it. I mean, it's like, it will blow your mind. You'll just think like, you'll just be in there in awe, like how were they able to build this? Like how? It's just fascinating. It's fascinating. All right, let's go. And I'd like to watch this video. This is, you know, I shout out to Yahoo Finance for being bullish on crypto. I think Yahoo Finance, I like their breakdowns on crypto. I think they have good perspective, and so it's always good to get their little, you know, their take as well. So let's see what Yahoo Finance has to say.
Well, Bitcoin is up more than 5% as investors look to regain some ground from this week's sell-off. Some traders believe the quick reversal suggests the recent price drop may have been a bear trap. Yahoo Finance markets and data editor Jared Blickery is tracking those recent swings. Jared.
Brad, Bitcoin is basically a trap. Let's check out the price action this week. It's been very volatile. This is actually a 3-month look, and you can see we just had this dip all the way down to about 48,000 there. And for me, 60,000 has been the important level to watch. And I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to put a year-to-date chart on here, and here's the 60,000 level. We've dipped below it once, twice, and this is a third time, each time going a little bit below, but then climbing back above 60,000. These are all false breakdowns. You can call them bear traps, and it costs traders a lot of money and peace of mind. But nevertheless, that's what's happening. But another way to look at it, it's just in a little bit of a flag here from a sustained up move. That's a 1-year look, and it's even more apparent on the 5-year. So this is just a tiny little flag here in the grand scheme of things, but it's painful on a day-to-day basis. Now, when I was watching, I've been following fund flows as well. We have all these new Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin ETFs, and not only Bitcoin, but Ether. And we've seen some really positive movements this week. I think overall, the sector was lost about $250 million or $250 billion. But when you take into consideration that a lot of that was out of the grayscale entities, you get a positive net flow for Bitcoin. So I think it's positive that we have, in the midst of all this turmoil, we still have a lot of institutional and retail interest in these funds. Guys?
All right, Jared, thanks so much for breaking the movement down that we're seeing here for crypto as we wrap up what has been a volatile week.
That was such a good take. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you agreed with that, because like that's exactly the same analysis I just gave you guys on the bull flag scenario here, what we just did on the PHEMEX chart, and we just did that same break analysis. If you put it even on the 1 hour, you know, you put it on the daily, and same deal. Like it's pretty apparent. Yeah, you got to do it on the weekly, and do it on the weekly, and you can see here that's basically what's happening is we had a pretty decent trap here. Look at that wick too. I mean, so it's looking good. So I'm pretty confident. You know, I'm going to keep this trade. I'm definitely going to keep this trade open. We've just been Scalpstein, McScalpstein on this particular one, because the market was, you know, I'm a little dodgy right now, obviously. So like, you know, if you have an opportunity to take some profits, you take the profits, guys. You know, if you're swing trading and you're doing those things, you know, if you're up, you're up. You gotta scalp some off the table. Not financial advice, but just strategic for how the market has been a little volatile. So, but you don't necessarily want to close the whole thing. But yeah, so just wanted to show you guys this. And all right, let's get, I did want to show you guys this clip of Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad author, talking a little bit about the fundamental rules for investors. So I think this would be very valuable for us to watch. So let's check it out.
Well, in Rich Dad Poor Dad, I came out in 1997 and I said, your house is not an asset. And it drove people nuts. It just went crazy on me because that's a common belief. But when you can't make your house payments, you find out it's the biggest liability you got, and many of the times.
It's turned out to be very much more correct than you even thought.
Right.
When you look at what's happened to home prices.
Right. And Donald and I love real estate. I love real estate. I think it's the best thing going, better than sliced bread. But if you're not smart with it, it's like a loaded gun. You know, you can protect yourself or you can kill yourself with it. So real estate is, to me, the best vehicle, but you've got to be smart with it because we're using debt. And debt is a two-edged sword out there. So you use debt, I use debt, but the more debt you use, actually you have to be smarter. So you can use debt to get richer. You can also use debt to wipe you out. So that's why, you know, I continue on saying we need financial education. To just say to somebody, get out of debt, well, that's not accurate. You use debt, don't you?
Debt is a great thing, and to be big and to be very successful, debt is a very useful weapon. But you have to be very careful.
That's correct. So the other thing with when people say live below your means, you don't like to live below your means, do you?
No.
No. And I think when you say to somebody live below your means, you wipe their spirit out. It's like saying to somebody, if you want to lose weight, go on a starvation diet. It doesn't make you healthier to starve yourself. So I would rather get financially educated. That's why I read your books, because I want to, this is my greatest asset. I want to feed my brain so that I can expand my means without getting into excessive debt or where I start to lose. Because debt, like I say, is a two-edged sword. But telling somebody to live below your means is almost inhumane. I never felt good doing it. I wanted to strive to do better every day. I want to do better every day. I liked a good life. Like I tell the story of taxiing underneath your jet. You know, I was in my jet, but it was a little Learjet. And I look up and there's a 727, and I taxi under it. I said, "Holy man!" You know, and it's big boys and their toys, but nonetheless, it inspired me. I said, "Okay, I'm in a Learjet now. It's time to step up." And it doesn't mean the jet will make me happier. What makes me happier is the wanting to get better, to get smarter, to do better.
Well, I have a friend who was not successful at all, but was really up and coming. And he had a thing. He would only fly first class. I'm not saying do this because for somebody it won't work, but he needed that mentally.
Right.
He wanted to fly first class because mentally he wanted to think he was the best, and that's it. And even though he didn't have much money at the time, this is years ago, he would always fly. I used to criticize him, but it put him in a good state of mind, and he became a very, very successful guy. Very, very successful. And I've always remembered that.
This just reminded me about a video that Carl on his shout out to Carl Runefelt. He on his vlog channel, I think it was on his vlog channel, either his vlog channel or on the Moon channel. He was talking about, you know, the law of attraction and kind of the things and the little tweaks and hacks that he did to get himself inspired to start to attract the wealth to him and change his mindset on what he could afford. Because obviously at the time he couldn't afford to fly private jets or a yacht or, you know, do those things. But so what he did though is he would call the yacht service and book a, mock book a yacht tour or, you know, rent a yacht or something and say, well, what's the price? And then give me a quote. And then, you know, book and have an app on his phone for a private jet and like, you know, keep like fake booking, you know, private jet flights and putting, you know, a certain type of car on your background of your phone and just little tweaks like that to be able to inspire yourself to hope for and to turn that hope into a feeling and then turn that feeling into the more thoughts and then turn those things and mesh them together and synergize them together into a action. And then you start to open the possibility of the wealth coming into your life. So it's a true skill, and you have to use it to your best, to your ability, because this is the way that you're going to be able to battle the thing that is going to stop you the most, which is your own fear, uncertainty, and doubt of yourself inside your mind.
that. He would never fly coach. Right. He would always fly first class, even though he didn't have the means to fly. So, look, it's complicated, but whatever it takes to train that.
Whatever makes you feel better about yourself, stronger, more confident, to want to do better. And I think really that's the issue. And we're at the stage of our lives right now, to ask for more is not really it. But to do better, to feel better about ourselves is still important. It is very important.
Right.
So that's why I don't like saying live below your means and scrimp and all that, because, shopping is fun. Nice houses are fun.
At the same time, you have to be very careful.
Yes, but you have to be responsible about it.
Correct.
Like, when you invited us up to your little duplex up here, whatever you call it, we walked up there, and I've never seen a two-story, entire floor home in New York City. And my wife Kim says, I never really want to live in a condo, but she says, Mr. Trump's house will do. And it is spectacular. You know what I mean? And it's.
And yet I don't need that, right?
Yes, I know.
I don't need that. If I had one nice bedroom with a good television set and a nice
Right.
bed, and you don't really need that. But it was in a building I built,
Right.
and it was there for the taking, so I figured I might as well do it. And what have I done? Instead of selling the equivalent of 12 or 13 units, I kept them. And by keeping them, I have them. I
Right.
didn't sell them, and that's okay. And it's become, a very valuable place. So I didn't need that. I don't need it now, but there's something nice about it.
Right. And then that's my message is achieve it, and then you can take it or leave it. But if you don't achieve it, then it's always something away from you. So again, that's why I'd be redundant about this, living below your means. I don't think that makes your spirit happy. It kills your spirit. Also, if you don't have the financial education, when somebody says your house is an asset or these mutual funds are good or the stock will go up, and you don't know the difference between a good investment and a bad investment, because real estate can be a bad investment, stocks can be a bad investment. If you don't know good investment advice from bad investment advice, then you're going to get taken. This world is not kind, should we say.
The hardest thing that I've witnessed over the last year is seeing people that were very
Gold.
hardworking and very conservative that invested in the stocks. And
Right.
I'm not talking about high-flying stocks. I'm talking about very solid companies. And their net worth is 50% of what it was a year ago, and they haven't done anything wrong.
Right.
Now, they put their money in stocks, so I guess you could say that's wrong, but it's really not wrong
No.
because historically that's been okay. So they went into conservative stocks, and a year later they're worth 50%, and all they've done is worked. And that's the hardest thing I've seen.
It's tragedy. The thing that I want to say is this: you can invest in gold and lose money. You can invest in real estate and lose money. You can lose stocks and lose money. You can invest in oil and lose money. You can also make a lot of money in all those things. So really the reason we get together is because your financial intelligence, your financial IQ makes something valuable or not valuable. Like I said, you have to know a good investment from a bad investment, good advice from bad advice.
100%. 100%. God, this stream has got some golden nuggets, guys. This is why you watch this channel, because I'm bringing you such a rounded perspective on the crypto markets, investing. Oh my gosh, I don't know what other juice I could give you than that, because that was the juice. That was the juice. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. We will be back on Monday. We're gonna let the weekend marinate. We're gonna do. We're coming in hot, guys. You better get ready. This is gonna be one of the biggest channels in cryptocurrency, and I hope you guys are along for the ride. That being said, check out all the links in the description. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, do all the things that will keep this channel running. But even if you did it, I'll still be coming on YouTube or wherever I got to stream to yap my freaking trap about all this stuff. So it doesn't matter to me. But if you're so kind, please do so. Do all those things. And I will see you guys on Monday with some mega content. Peace.